and we left, she was like, are you sure you want to come to Dubai? I was like, why wouldn't I come to Dubai? She was like, the scene tonight is going to be worse. And I was like, other people are doing it? So I had to meet them halfway, and like, it was just a process going back and forth, negotiating. Just negotiating took 6 months.
Do you find it to be very hard, I guess, the treatment towards you because you're not willing to sacrifice your morals?
Like, I don't mind working too or whatever you do.
Right.
She didn't tell me what she do. Girl, we are about to get into the private jet. And she was like, I gotta be honest with you. She was like, I get on and pissed on for like 20, 30K by different men. And different men do it, like, at one time. Yeah.
And it gets worse. Way worse.
Oh yeah, Diddy got a podcast.
If you are not yet a member of the Patreon, link is in the description. Please consider becoming a member, as you will have access to many videos you cannot find here on YouTube. And if you're already a member of the Patreon, please be on the lookout. Either later today or maybe tomorrow at the latest, I am going to react to a documentary, what I'm going to call, or what the model herself called, the Jeffrey Epstein and Ghislaine Maxwell hidden documentary that came out many years ago that gives a behind-the-scenes look and interviews people who are part of the modeling industry, which a lot of people keep forgetting. That's part of how Jeffrey Epstein was able to get a lot of his victims, which, by the way, that's part of the business that him and both Donald Trump were both in together. The modeling industry, which I believe is 100% demonic in nature, and this documentary is going to prove that you're going to have what they call quote-unquote recruiters. These men that were recruiting these young women, some of them as young as 15 and 16 years old, you're going to have them on camera being interviewed, admitting to violating these girls on camera. This is a real documentary. It's a real thing. Well, not only are we going to react to that documentary, but we're going to react to specifically a former model who reacts to the documentary. That's the video we're going to react to, because she does a great job of pausing it throughout the documentary, exposing every single lie that was told, and exposing each person who even participated in the documentary and wasn't telling the entire truth of what the modeling industry is actually about that people don't understand. So once again, be on the lookout for that if you're a Patreon member. Once again, link is in the description. I'm about to show you all one of the most disgusting and filthy videos that you'll ever see and hear in your life. And I want to show you all this video for a couple of different reasons. One, or maybe three different reasons. The first reason is because I want to prove to you all that the idea of celebrity, what we think of celebrity as, it's an ambiguous term now. It doesn't have the same meaning that it had 20 years ago, 30 years ago, right? Which, by the way, while doing research for this video, I came across this video of Ellen DeGeneres at the Oscars, and she's hosting the Oscars, and she's doing the thing where she's going around taking selfies with different celebrities. And I want you all to take a listen to what she asked one of the celebrities if they're going to eat.
We got it. Thank you so much. Thank you. Lupita, you gonna have some pizza? Okay. Here's what I'm gonna do. You're not. You gotta be it. Oh, all right. Meryl.
Lupita, you gonna have some pizza? Okay.
Why would you ask about pizza? Of all things in the world, why pizza? We all know about Pizzagate and all the quote-unquote conspiracy theories. Why would you ask about a celebrity? Like, you all can afford to eat the most, expensive and rarest foods in the world, but you're asking about pizza. I just found this to be really strange. Celebrity can mean somebody who on social media who just so happens to make $20,000, $30,000 a month with 30,000 followers, and they're rubbing shoulders with some of the most richest and famous people in the world, but nobody knows who they are. Nobody really knows how they got there. Nobody really knows what their talent is, right? The second reason I want to show you, I want to make sure before I forget this, also because celebrity used to mean you have a record deal in the music industry. Celebrity used to mean you may have a contract with an acting agency, right? Some sort of talent agency, right? They knew how to pinpoint you to some sort of program, some sort of organization, some sort of industry, but now it just has a completely different meaning. I want to show you all this video as well because I want you all to understand how they pick these people. The people who typically pop in, the people who are celebrities, there's a formula to how they pick these people. Because remember, in my Sukihana video, one of the most important parts from that video is when the gentleman said, because the question was asked, if they're giving you a bad contract, why don't you just turn down the contract or try to renegotiate the terms? And the gentleman gave a great answer to that on the show. He said, because Bun B gave one of the best answers he's ever heard, if not the best answer. He said, because a lot of these industries know this about these people that they're targeting or that they're having to become these industry plants. He said, because you have to understand, by the time they make it to the point where they sign these contracts, it doesn't matter how bad of a contract it is, it's better than where they're coming from. It's better than what they had. At least it'll look like, at least it'll appear as if they're successful. And that's a lot of times what's most important to a lot of these people, and they can just figure it out from there. But another reason why I want to show you all this video of this rapper, to be clear, exposing another way in which a lot of people gain a lot of notoriety and make a lot of money, and a lot of stuff that goes on behind the scenes that never gets talked about. The last reason I want to show you all this is because I actually know someone in real life that I know on a close level that actually is a part of the industry that she's talking about. And I was like, wow, I couldn't believe that somebody actually talked about this. Now I have a reason to talk about it. But before I tell you about the person that I know and the things that they do and the lifestyle that they live that doesn't make any sense to me until they explain to me what they did to get that money, I want to show you all this video of this rapper explaining what she found out once she became a part of the music industry, or on her way to becoming a part of the music industry. Before we go over to the clip, I need you to just hit that like button for me for the algorithm. It would mean the world to me. I really, really appreciate it. Now, without further ado, let's see what she's talking about.
Girl, I had to find out. So I had like a stripper friend. So when I was younger, I didn't know strippers were strippers. Because I was dancing for designer at the time. I was like 17, 18.
Right.
I was dancing for designer at the time. When we were in strip clubs, I was so oblivious to what it was. I just thought they were girls in bikinis. I was just so oblivious of what was going on. I was so innocent.
Right.
So I had one stripper friend. She would always go to Dubai. And when she come back I always love her going to Dubai, because when she come back from Dubai, she buying me hair, she getting my nails done, we going out to eat. I never knew, girl, they getting pissed on in Dubai, right? So I'm like, I said, let me come to Dubai with you. I want to come. Like, you seem like you always having fun. She like, no, like, you don't have to go. I'm going to go, because she knew I was innocent. She didn't know I didn't know what was going on.
Right.
She was like, no, you don't have to come, this, that, and the third. And then she was like, come to me. There's like a secret place. So in the city, there's these secret clubs that like people with crazy kinks and fetishes go to. Yes. And it's like in the city, you would not know. Like, it looked like it's closed down, or it looks like a little mini garage. Hell yeah. She brought me to one of these stuffs. I've seen like a gay guy put like a liquor bottle of and piss on people. Yes, and they pay a lot of money for that. They pay a lot of money for that. Yeah. I know.
And you say
I was exposed to that so
oh, that's not good.
yeah.
That's not good.
I was like, yo, is he peeing on them? She was like, yeah, they paid like $10,000 to get pissed on. Yeah. Yeah, it's like a whole stage. And it's like acts, different kinky acts. Like, and they're doing crazy. Like,
And like, were you like?
I was watching. It was interesting as actually. It was interesting as seeing people get pissed on and not run was like very, very interesting. It's like it's like
what?
It's like, yeah, it's like a shock value. I'm like, what the why they not moving? You know, like, that's the first thing I'm thinking. I'm like, wait, this is interesting. Like, why are they not moving? They're like, oh my God. And it's like men doing that. And it's like execs, it's like higher ups. It's like people don't talk about.
Have you been back to Dubai since?
No, that was in New York. This is before we were supposed to go to Dubai. So we were supposed.
So this whole thing was
a night. So she came back.
Okay,
so I was just walking you through the night.
Got it.
So she was like, "Oh, I got to stop by. Sorry, I have to stop by at this little club. Come with me. Just stay on the side." But you know me, I'm just. So I was seeing what was going on. And I was like, "What the fuck? Why is she here?"
Right.
But that's when I realized what strippers really was. That was the day. So I was like, I want to go to Dubai. I was like, I don't care if I'm in a hotel, whatever. I want to go to Dubai. This was before I seen that, right?
Okay.
So I seen that. So I go to the bathroom.
Oh no.
That night, I don't even want to touch nothing because
Yeah,
I'm
of
like, what if there's
course.
sperm on it?
Right. You don't know what's going on.
Because I'm like in the stalls like this.
Right.
Because I'm like waiting for her to do whatever she needs to do, whatever she's at the
Right.
VIP rooms. And we left. She was like, are you sure you want to come to Dubai? I was like, why wouldn't I come to Dubai? She was like, the scene tonight is going to be worse. And I was like, other people are doing it? And then she was like, yeah. And I was like, what that got to do with me? If they do what they do, they ain't got nothing to do with me. Girl, I'm trying to go to Dubai. Every time I go to Dubai, I'm like 17. I'm like, every time we come back, I get my hair done. So I'm not really thinking what's going on.
Oh my gosh.
I'm just like, I want to go to Dubai. Like, you know, I want to, like, if you going and working, I don't mind working too, because I feel bad you always working and then you're taking care of me. I'm a kind of friend, like, I don't mind working too or whatever you.
Right.
She didn't tell me what she do. Girl, we are about to get into the private jet. And she was like, I got to be honest with you. She was like, I get on and pissed on for like 20, 30K by different men. And different men do it, like, at one time. Yeah. And I was like, you dirty. I was like, you dirty. Not only is you bringing me to some weird ass where mother getting pissed on.
Right.
You wouldn't even have the audacity to tell me that this whole time that I've been hugging you, kissing you on the cheek, we probably been sharing the same spoons and you out here eating you out here getting shit on? Like, could you imagine what that is for me at 18 to hear that? I was like, what do you mean you get pissed on? She was like, I gotta be honest with you because you keep bothering me because you want to be so nosy and you want to know what the I'm doing in Dubai. She was like, I get shitted on by about 10 men. Not only do we get shitted on, they have us open our mouths.
In that moment, did you get on the private jet?
Are you crazy? I pissed on myself. I said, yo, give me the bath. We got to go to the bathroom real quick.
Yeah.
Because I couldn't believe, I could have sworn like we shared a straw here and there. That's all I was thinking about. That's all I was thinking about. I don't know why that was the first thing. I was like, you dirty, you didn't. We shared food before.
Right. That's crazy.
That's when I realized what they do. And I stopped talking to her after that.
Oh, yeah, I mean.
No, because birds of a feather flock together, right?
Sure. Yeah.
Not only is you a stripper, there's nothing wrong with being a stripper.
Right.
Because I know I have actually stripper friends that actually don't do that stuff.
Sure.
They
Right.
actually stripping to pay for their school.
Right.
So, but not only that, but like, then you getting multiple pissing on you. You let it, and she explained it like fat dudes would open their and shit, sometimes
Oh
diarrhea.
my God.
Diarrhea. You're letting your mouth.
I can't right now.
You should have had them put chains on you and had you on your knees and do some hard work or something. You letting them.
That's no.
And then she would say it would be like a row of them, and it would be all of them doing it. It was like she explained it to me, and that's why she would be on private jets. Like I said, the lifestyle you see,
right.
There's a price.
I just found out so much from you. I learned so much today from you.
Oh, girl, I'm like a girl. I got stories for days.
I have learned so much, and I have questioned humanity today. I have, like,
You just have to have a strong, like, willpower and a mental, like, for the industry.
for sure.
Now, I actually took notes when I first watched this clip, and I believe the rapper's name is Janaski. This is her on a woman's name by the name of Nessa. If you all want to go and check it out, her name is Janaski, and she is, I believe, a rapper. Now, first and foremost, I'm very appreciative that she shared this, but I do have a few questions. If you notice, at the very beginning, she said that when she was 17 years old, which was 17, she was doing all of this stuff and indulging in these things. And I know 17 isn't as young as other ages, like 12, but still, that's such a young age. Like, where's your dad? Where are your parents? Like, whenever I hear these stories, it's clear to me that she doesn't have a father figure or a strong father figure or a father figure presence in her life. Because why would you even be a part of this world? Did nobody put you on game, right? But if you notice, she said that even at 17 years old, so that's high school, that's a senior in high school, getting ready to graduate high school, or just graduated high school, you didn't even know what a stripper was. She said she just thought this was somebody that just danced. I find it hard to believe, but I'll give you the benefit of the doubt if you really thought that these were just dancers and you didn't think that it was the industry that it was. Okay. Another thing that stood out to me was she said she didn't know what her friend was going to do. And when she first said that her friend was getting crapped on and urinated on, which is absolutely disgusting, man, I was thinking to myself, oh, they fly overseas, they link with these rich men and these wealthy men, and they, I guess, lay down on the ground, they ball up, and they just get crapped on and quote-unquote humiliated. The rich guys, they get a kick out of this, it turns them on, I guess, and what's $20,000, $30,000 to them? What's $5,000, $10,000 to them? It's nothing. They're probably making $400,000, $500,000, $600,000 a month. So this is nothing for them, right? Until she got later in the episode and she said no. They had to open their mouths while different men took turns. Y'all, this is what they won't tell you about. This is what they won't tell you about. Because I don't even think it's just social media influencers. I don't think it's just quote unquote strippers or people who want to be famous that hadn't quite made it there that's participating in these things. I believe it's actual celebrities that people know. Musicians, actors. I believe a lot of these people indulge in these things to keep up the lifestyle, right, that they portrayed across social media, they've portrayed across media. This is the side that they don't tell you about. Let me tell you another side that they don't tell you about. They'll show you the Gucci bags and the expensive shoes and the fancy hairstyles, but they won't tell you about the suicide thoughts. They won't tell you about the suicide rates, right? They won't tell you about the drug use. They won't tell you about the deep depression. They won't tell you about the loss of the sense of self that they have, the loss of self-worth, the loss of value that they feel about themselves, because that's something that you can't replace. Money can't buy you that. And something else that really stood out to me about this interview is the part where she said there's nothing wrong with being a stripper because they just do it. She knows strippers that don't indulge in that behavior, but they just strip to pay for school. And see, that's what's happening, especially when fathers aren't in the home, is that we lower our standards. And she really believes that what she just said is okay. It's all right to display yourself half naked and, show what only your husband should be seeing, which I think is a form of selling your soul in order to pay the bills. You know what I mean? And then another thing I really noticed about this interview is I found it very interesting that the older lady here that's interviewing this female rapper here, I like how she seems so shocked to hear about all of this information. Because at one point she said, "Oh, you were too young to be seen. I hate that you got to experience it." Bro, this woman is a part of the hip hop industry. She's coming into the hip hop industry, and you, in my opinion, if you work in radio, then you're a part of the same industry as the hip hop industry in my eyes. So, what do you think she's going to experience or witness in the hip hop industry, in the music industry? What does it take to go viral, especially as a female artist? Because it's not just about your lyrics, it's how you display yourself. What is it going to take for her to go viral? What is she going to have to talk about? What is she going to have to do on camera as far as like her music videos? What is she going to have to do off camera? What opportunities are going to be presented to her? I just felt like if you're going to be shocked about that, then you should have a problem with her being a part of the hip hop industry too. So to me, I look at you as almost like a snake. And they won't tell you. They'll let you see them flossing. They'll put the fancy veneers in there. So they got fake teeth, fake eyelashes, fake hair, makeup. And I'm not just trying to make this about women, even though I think that women do benefit the most when it comes to these industries. And I use the word benefit loosely, right? I don't mean that in the literal sense. I mean it in the sense of, even though there's a lot of degradation that comes with the lifestyle, it's still an option for them if they so chose it. Men don't have that option. Not that I'm saying men should, right? I'm not advocating for the lifestyle, of course, but I want people to understand that when you're looking at a lifestyle like this is something that women will always have over men. That's just a fact. They'll have that option, which leads me to my last point. I'm going to try to share this story in a very brief, where it won't take too long, but also in a way where it protects the identity of the person I'm talking about. I know a person who is very close to me, kind of, like family to me, and they live in a big city. I'm not going to say which big city in America. And for maybe a couple of years, I would always see on social media, they traveled a lot. All around the country. They would be out of the country on these exotic looking beaches. This is somebody I know in real life. Like, I know her. And I finally went out there to visit her a couple of years ago or so. And we went out on the town and went out to eat, and we're catching up. And now I got to come out there and see, because I was out there for maybe 3 or 4 days, and I got to see her actual 9 to 5 because she worked a 9 to 5 job. But what she always told me she didn't match the lifestyle that I saw. But when I got out there, I was like, oh no, she actually do this for a living. I'm not even gonna say what job she did, because again, I'm trying to keep this person's identity hidden, just in case they may see this, somebody they know may see this. But what they did is an honorable job. It's a normal 9 to 5 job. They make good money. Like the average salary in America, I think, is like 45,000. You know, she makes well above that amount. But the lifestyle that she portrays on social media, that salary won't even begin to take care of that, to fund that lifestyle. So I asked her, I said, yo, how you doing that? Like, you got on Balenciaga shoes and you got these fancy clothes and purses and you live in this, upscale apartment uptown in the big city or whatever. I said, how you living like that? And she said, you'll be surprised. I said, no. How about you just tell me how you living like that? I'm curious. Like, no judgment. I'm super curious. And in so many words, because she wouldn't tell me the full story. She was just like, you'll be surprised what men are willing to do out here simply to go out on dates with me. You'll be surprised what men are willing to do simply if I decide to go home with them, even if I don't do anything with them. You'll be surprised what men will even, and I'm like, because there was one man in particular that she was talking about while I was out there. Turns out he was a married man, but this married man had a particular fetish. Let's just say that. And she would satisfy his fetish for him. And it was a weird fetish. But he would pay her an absurd amount of money for this fetish. And she would only have to see him like once a month. I'm like, bro, what? And she's getting paid $5,000-$10,000 at a time. You get an extra $5,000-$10,000. I'm like, but guys, the point I'm getting at here, that's a form of selling your soul. Whether you believe in God, whether you believe in Satan, whether you draw a pentagram on the ground, whether you sign a record deal, whether you're in the music industry or you're not, there are other ways in which you can sell your soul. And we're seeing it and what's crazy is this is far more common than we realize. This is why I'm not trying to make this video about men versus women, but I want to just point out that, like, this is a raven thing. I don't have children yet. If the Most High bless me to have children here soon, then this is something I plan to teach my children, especially my sons, to believe in God, stand on your morals, but don't compare yourself to women. Because men and women live two different lifestyles, man. If you have the luxury, even if it's a sinful lifestyle, men don't even have that option. You don't have that option, or at least it's not nearly as accessible as it is for women. Not nearly as available. Not nearly as much offered like it is for women. Well, you can make an absurd amount of money, and I think this is part of the reason why modern day dating has become so bad, because women have these options and these availabilities made out to them. Men will not only will men never have these options, in many cases, most cases, men don't even know. If it weren't for social media and red pill content, they wouldn't even know that this was an option, that it was a lot of women out here living like that. So women are living by these unrealistic standards, and then they're comparing everyday men to these standards. So I'm just showing you the different elements and facets and ways in which, in different ways in parts of people's lives, that selling your soul can impact, depending on if you're a man or a woman, depending on if you're in the music industry or you're not. Because you're telling us all the things that you had to do to get there, and then you'll give us a little bit of a sneak peek into like some of the hardships that you had. But what are you not telling us? What are you not sharing? Because in that Sukihana video, once again, I think we could all see that Sukihana wasn't fully being honest. I have reason to believe the woman sitting beside Sukihana was probably Sukihana's handler. If that woman came there with Sukihana, I believe that's her handler. Because the way she was looking at Sukihana, it was almost as if she was saying, like, you better give the right answer. Careful now. When they asked her how she got out of that contract, and she sat there and paused and gave that very unconvincing answer of, court. I took him to court. Oh, court. And I'm like, bro, if anybody in that room looked like 10, 15 adults, if any of you all have a little bit of discernment, you can clearly see that that woman is not being honest. But that's the world we live in. That's one of the most disgusting things I've ever heard in my life. But that's the world we live in, though. That's where we at. Y'all up in the comment section, let me know what you think. Did you know about this? Did you know about secret clubs in New York? Did you know about these secret fetishes? Do you know somebody personally that maybe dibble and dabbed in this lifestyle? Hop in the comment section and let me know, man. Pray for everyone mentioned in this video, including myself. I'm Demetrius. I go by Didi. That's all for this one. Until next time. Peace.
Oh yeah, Diddy got a podcast.